This is Saturday Morning Mysteries.
And we're your hosts, Alexis and Grace. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Saturday Morning Mysteries, where we are your hosts. I'm Alexis.
I'm Grace.
And it is Grace's turn to tell us another episode, her last episode, actually.
Yes.
The one and only, the one-hit wonder, the mind-boondoggling, abstract avant-garde show, Jabberjaw. Yep, Hanna-Barbera classic, 1976, one season, 16 episodes. Every single last one of them will entirely destroy your mind.
Packs a punch.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we've been enjoying it. So, Grace, I'm going to hand it over to you because I can't wait to hear how you wrap up your part of the episode arc of this wonderful show. Yeah.
Yes. So today I am doing, season 1, the only season, episode 12, the Bermuda Triangle Tangle. And what I noticed with your last episode and this episode, because you did the second, your previous episode was the second to last episode of the series, that like, as the season went on, the show got fucking crazier with like, the first few episodes were like, here is the villain, and here is the straightforward evil plan, and they must thwart it.
Yeah.
But like in your last episode, you had to break it literally into 5 parts because there was so much happening that I wish I had done that with this, because I think the episode is going to be about one thing, very simple. And then this episode takes like 18 turns that I was like, oh, now this is what we're doing. And now this is what we're doing now. And now we're here. Okay. So I didn't do that though, but I wish I had. So
you made fun of me in the moment. Yeah.
No, I was like, wow,
you did
more than anything. And more than anything, any feelings that you felt projected from me was jealousy that you had the forethought to do that, to organize your episode, because I didn't. And this one instead is simply
everywhere.
Everything everywhere all at once.
That is what that movie, Jabberjaw, is what that movie is actually inspired by.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. How could this show not be multidimensional?
Honestly, that would explain so many things if it was. Right?
You know,
we both just had a realization, like, can that just be our cop-out? Can that be the thing that we use just to explain how all of this makes sense? Oh, yeah, it's a multidimensional show.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
That's why there's no streamlined government, because every dimension, in some dimensions, maybe the city council like negotiates hostage deals.
Yes. That's why, like, some episodes they are the good guys, some episodes they are straight up the fucking criminals. Like,
laws are different no matter what dimension. Yeah, you're in. Yeah, honestly, that would make a lot of sense. I'm like wiping away all past wild speculation.
I'm not wiping it away. I'm saying
not
yes,
it all makes sense, but like
as all different strings and facets of this multidimensional universe under the water we are experiencing.
That's the easiest way to just write your way out of a bad plot line. It's like, it's a different universe. It's a multiverse. It's fine.
Yeah, they woke up and it was all a dream.
And he woke up. Everyone's actually dead. He's actually
they're dead the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Every plot twist you can think of. It's like, we just did all of those.
That all of it happened in each dimension that they occupy. So, cool. I'm glad we established that, because this episode twists and turns nonstop, but not in a plot developing way. Again, in a, this is what's happening now type of way.
So I will get comfortable.
Yeah, get comfortable, get in the right headspace of a multidimensional headspace where anything goes.
Anything goes. Cool.
Yes. So we, as usual, open up with the villain in their lair. And the lair today is in this large, round, domed room. And in the center of it sits what I can only describe as, which I think is my most said line in this arc, is what I can only describe as You put your coffee down.
I was going to take a sip and I was like, nope, I'll wait.
This is my most put together description yet because it references a real thing. It looks like a Tesla coil, like the Nicholas Tesla machine that is like a giant ball on like a transformer that's like creating electric currents or something, but it looks like there's lightning exploding from it.
Okay.
That's in the room.
The vibe. Gotcha.
Yes. And in a surprise twist, we see the baddie is a woman this episode, which I think is our first female villain in the show.
I think so too. It is, besides Shelley.
And maybe Bubbles just because she's fucking stupid.
So stupid.
Yeah. She's so stupid that she's evil.
At a certain point, idiocracy is evil.
Exactly.
Like you choose to be this dumb.
Ignorance is not bliss.
Yeah.
Ignorance is just ignorance.
It's evil. Ignorance is evil.
Yep, exactly. And I say we see her, but like we don't really see this villain yet. Instead, we see this giant, like oval shaped, almost like a mirror screen situation that has her face on it, kind of like in the mirror in Snow White, or just as importantly, in Shrek.
Perhaps more importantly, but
more culturally significant.
Yes.
Anyways, we learned that this face on the mirror is Madame Sargasso. I think is how you say the name. And yes, on this mirror screen thing, she has these like gaunt cheeks, sharp eyebrows, very sharp cheekbones, a crown. So again, just like in Snow White / Shrek, this like floating face figure. But think more like, instead of like evil witch situation, she kind of looks like Angelina Jolie.
Oh, evil witch. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So like it kind of works out.
I mean, she did play the evil witch and what's it called? The Snow White thing. Or was it Cinderella?
Sleeping Beauty.
Sleeping Beauty, that one. Thank you. I've never seen it, but yeah.
And there's also flames surrounding her whole face. So like,
wait, what?
No.
Oh, you mean
she's
on the
floating? Yeah, on the screen.
On the screen,
there's flames around her floating face on the mirror screen situation.
Oh, okay, got you.
Yeah,
I thought she had like
we don't really see her. We
helmet
see
of flames on.
Nah, she's got like CGI flames happening. She's like, this is a screen mirror situation. Let's give it some pizzazz, ladies. Let's girl boss.
Like, we'll fix it in post. Come on.
Yeah, we're not going to see my hair. Instead, flames.
She's an ideal woman.
Exactly. Again, girl bossing this whole episode.
I love her so far. These last two villains have been fantastic.
Again, the writers were really like, fuck it, we're doing it live.
Fuck it.
We're going to write the show we always wanted to write, where everyone is an anti-hero / villain.
What did I say a few episodes back? I'm pretty sure these are like the C and D plots from Scooby-Doo that didn't make it out of those writers' room, and they just sent them directly to the Jabberjaw writers' room.
Exactly,
like
which is the same people.
Ruby had them on like Post-it notes, and they were like in their pockets. Like,
what do we got now? What do we got now?
Throw them on the table. These are
our shower thoughts.
Give her flames on her head. Her shower thoughts.
They're like mad-libbing the plot line. All right, give me adjective. A flame, or give me a verb. A flame. Verb? Okay. Verb. On fire. Great. Flaming. Perfect. So Madame Sargasso is laughing on this screen as she is watching on yet another screen. They're very techie in the year 2076. She's basically watching a live stream, a live feed of a boat somewhere out at sea that suddenly gets surrounded by like an orb of zapping electricity and lightning bullets. And we see in the middle of the ocean this happen, and then suddenly with one big strike of lightning, the boat zaps out of existence.
Oh.
Yep. And we hear Madame Sargasso laughing, saying, "Ah, yes, another vessel dead in my domain." So, okay, this is what she's up to, I guess.
You know what? Hey, Still
girls
like
gotta
her.
do what a girl's gotta do.
Good for her. Good for
Good for her. You know what? You can't become a girl boss without stepping on a couple toes, you know?
Right,
Not in this
right.
society.
A couple skulls, perhaps.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They call her bossy, but really, she's just a boss.
It's just her job. Get over it.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't hear her plan in a surprise twist like we usually do up front. And yes, get ready because there are many new surprise twists, as I said, in this episode. So instead of hearing her grand villain plan, we join the Neptunes on a cruise liner, an actual cruise ship, though, this time, not. Yeah, that they seemingly have tickets on. We don't see tickets being checked, but we also don't see them working in the galley like in previous cruise ships.
They snuck on that ship somehow. Yeah. They snuck on. There's no way. Yeah.
Yes. I mean, we do establish very immediately that Biff set this up. So yes, I believe you are correct.
Mm-hmm.
We're not sure how they got on it. And actually,
but they're on it.
I do have a point to that in one moment. But first, I need to tell you something that has nothing to do with the plot of this episode. But I'm telling you personally this to bring you personal joy, which is that Shelly is bossing Jabberjaw around, telling him to get her like a sunbathing chair for the deck, which has like, a big bubble dome on it. And so he's taking too long. And she's like, fine, you dummy, I'll do it. And she tries to unfold the chair and absolutely like fucks it up and gets like tangled in it. Her head is like popped through the back. It like snaps her in half. She got like an arm sticking out here. Like her back is like all crooked and that kind of stuff. Yay. So like karma happens for you in this moment.
Yay. That does bring me joy. Thank you. It's infectious.
Yes.
I love it.
In the air.
It's in the air. She deserves it so bad. Also, she's probably like, what is this alien technology? This folding chair.
Steal weapons of mass destruction, but cannot unfold a simple.
Yeah. She can steer a massive
human device.
Mothership. Yeah. This folding chair does not
This archaic human savage technology.
I mean, I know how to use arms.
Yeah, I just want to sunbathe, and
I've had these for years now, haven't we all? What age are you when you grow your arms in as a human?
I've had these opposable. I mean,
thumb is like twitching.
Yeah, is like half like bent back in like a terrifying horror movie way.
Yeah.
She like whips it back into place.
This is how they look, right?
Is this right? No. So while that's happening, karma's happening in a beautiful way.
Love it. Love it.
Everyone else is excited for the gig, except for Clamhead, who, like in your episode, has fucking had it with this band. He wants to go back to his underground mafia life where all he had to do all day was sit around, smoke some cigars, play some poker, do some open heart surgery. Yeah, without anesthetic, the things that bring him joy.
Yes.
He's missing it. What he's also nervous about is going to your point a paragraph ago, essentially before the Shelly karma, is that the transportation which Biff has arranged for them is making Clamhead real fucking nervous about the path that their ship is taking them on. Apparently it is not the most direct, perhaps, path, probably because Biff was like, I couldn't sneak us onto one of those ships.
Mm-hmm. The security is too good on this.
Yeah, this ship perhaps is simply full of smuggling items because it is taking them through.
Oh, I just remembered the name of your episode.
Yes, it is taking them not only through the Bermuda Triangle, but the exact path that Clamhead, who is currently reading the front page of a newspaper that somehow they got on this ship, a paper that has the headline, "Another vessel disappears mysteriously in the Bermuda Triangle," and we see a picture of the ship that we saw moments ago get zapped into oblivion.
Mm.
And yes, in this exact moment, Clamhead laments. They are simply in the middle of the Bermuda Triangle.
Oh, great.
To which Bubbles says, I don't see any triangles. And Shelley, now we've now established Bubbles can read, but very simple things. Shelley untangled herself and gets out a map.
No, that's right. I forgot.
Yeah, that literally, she like unfurls it to show Bubbles. I don't know. She got this somewhere on the ship. This also shows maybe how sketchy ass the ship is. It's a piece of paper that says Atlantic Triangle. And it just has a triangle in the middle of the page and like loosely drawn like 3 points of landmass. And that's it. It's just a giant triangle on a piece of paper. And she's like, this is where we are. We are here as a little star.
Oh, God.
And yes, she goes on to tell Bubbles that, yeah, hundreds of ships have mysteriously disappeared right here without a trace. So like, thanks, Biff.
Yeah.
And again, Biff is
look
like,
into that before getting the tickets.
And Biff's like, no, I did.
That's why they were so cheap.
Yeah, that's why we didn't have to pay for them at all. We just signed some liability papers of if we mysteriously go missing, we gave them our bank account information just in case. You know, our next of kin.
Normal, yeah.
Was written down on this, so it's fine.
Yes, I made you sign them last week. You didn't see that? You didn't read that? It was like 30 pages. Why didn't you read it?
All of Clamhead's lawyers looked at it, and Clamhead did not sign it, but he still got on the ship because they didn't care. They're like, yeah, another body, let's go.
Bubbles thought it was a map, so she's just like, we are here.
Just put a star on it. They're like, great that people actually don't look at what signatures look like. Great.
They don't. Yeah.
Sounds good. That's true. So in a very actually clutch moment for these writers, but perhaps a little too late to save this show. Because again, this is the 12th episode out of 14. Like they should have put smart stuff like this in the episodes 1 through 11 to like
not wait until the last 25% of the season.
Yeah, to be like, let's put a genius connection. Yeah.
This is award-winning writing.
Too little too late here. But I'll still give them credit where credit is due. Because if you remember our villain, Madame Sargasso, I think I say it differently every time because I don't remember how they say it. Whatever, you know who I'm talking about, is named after the Sargasso Sea, which is a part of the Atlantic Ocean that is bound by 4 currents, and one of the points of the Bermuda Triangle sits at the fringes of this sea, overlapping in part with the sea that actually exists in the world. So I was like, the writers actually looked up the Bermuda Triangle and wrote something relevant.
That all the times they couldn't afford to go to the library and do research before, it's because they blew it all on this library trip. They had to check out
this trip. Or actually the only real knowledge they have is like conspiracy knowledge, not like hard facts.
They're like, we know everything about the Bermuda Triangle. We can tell you everything about that. Sargasso Sea? For sure. That's a great name. Yeah.
And I will say, I really thought about doing a like intense deep dive into the Bermuda Triangle and all the conspiracies. But this episode is so long and so jacked up that keeps getting weirder and weirder that I'll just give a TLDR that the Bermuda Triangle, for those who somehow don't know, is an urban legend about the region of the Atlantic Ocean that, yes, forms a triangle between some land masses where a number of aircrafts and ships have disappeared, apparently under mysterious circumstances. And according to Wikipedia, the first articles theorizing about the existence of the triangle was only in 1950, which I thought was pretty interesting. I didn't realize it was that recent, at least in like, at least in like written popular culture, I guess.
Yeah.
So go have fun with that on your own time, because now is not the time. So enjoy that.
Go read that first. Whenever you can.
Yeah. So, yes, as Clamhead announces this, Yeah, and Shelley then digs out the map. Everyone else does kind of join Clamhead on being like, wait, actually, this is pretty fucked up, Biff. Like,
yeah,
you didn't look at this. And Jabberjaw, though, in his usual, air boxing move, is like, you guys don't have to worry about it. I got you, baby. I'm tough. I'm here. I'll fucking beat up whatever is mysteriously taking away ships in the middle of the Bermuda Triangle.
He
I can
tends
fight
to
ghosts.
say that right before. Let him swing at me. I can do it.
Yeah.
He tends to do that right before he messes something up.
Or right before, like in this episode, the actual horror comes and he immediately cowers.
Yeah, he's like, oh.
Because moments later, from above a ship, or not from above this ship, a dark billowing cloud appears and it starts echoing with a deep laughter. And from this dark cloud that we also see some sparks of electricity starting to go through it, we see, still surrounded by flames, Madame Sargasso's face appear in the clouds. And without explanation or giving time for reaction, although we do see the crew of the ship starting to fucking panic and like trying to start steering away as the Neptunes are like, uh-oh. Looking at Jabberjaw like, you gonna fight a cloud?
You said you'd protect us. Go for it, man.
Yeah,
it's like Galactus
fight a face in a cloud.
Yeah.
Like, go get it. You can swim out there. Take care of this.
Wait, yeah, that's right. They're underwater. Wait a minute.
There's a dome over the ship that they're in.
But it also just struck me, the cloud, and then also, is it still technically the Bermuda Triangle, like at underwater? Like, is it still, like, do subs go missing from the Bermuda Triangle, or is it just planes?
The ocean has borders.
Yes.
The Bermuda Triangle can be everywhere under the ocean.
I thought that schools of fish lined up to prevent passage through.
You have to check the little fish customs agents checking their papers.
All right, you can go through. You can go.
I
guess my question really is: are subs believed to have gone missing from the Bermuda Triangle too, or is it only stuff above, like water level and above?
I would assume, not being a Bermuda Triangle lorist, I would assume yes, because I think part of it is like, and we never recovered the ships that sank or aircrafts that sank. Like no one can find them in the water.
Got you.
That's
totally
why it's
missing.
Mysterious.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think, if they sink, they somehow still float to the bottom and disappear along the way.
Got you.
So
it's probably a Kraken. That's my.
I mean, we're about to find out what it is.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
So,
it's Sargasso.
Yeah, exactly. And we see in what is the next step of like, oh, before we just saw a ship zap away in electricity, but for some reason she wanted to do a personal touch for this ship. And we see from her dark cloud, again, her face is in it, the flames are still around her. The cloud simply bursts into flames as well. And from these flames, we see flame like tendril arms come out. Her face is still in it, like a kraken.
I was gonna say, is she a kraken?
But like a flame kraken.
Oh, that's terrifying.
And she
I love this woman even more now. This is great. She's the best.
Again, she's like, in the workplace, men can get to the top by doing the bare minimum. They can just zap a ship out of the air. Me, a woman, I have to go above and beyond every time.
I'm a whole ass fire kraken.
I literally have to zap my face into a cloud, set it on fire, turn into a fucking fire kraken, reach out, which is what she's now doing with her tendrils, and draw the ship towards her slowly but surely. And then while it's in her flaming tendril clutches, then zap it out in a flash and it zaps out of existence.
I can always watch this episode. Oh my gosh.
I have to go above and beyond. And I'm still not a C-suite executive.
A C Sweet.
She's like, and that's why I started my own company.
Yeah. Madame Sargosa's Bermuda Triangle tours.
Exactly. So
ship recovery operations.
Ship death operation.
Yeah.
We love to see it happen. Women supporting women out here, you know?
Love it. Breaking the glass ceiling, breaking the water ceiling.
Yeah, breaking that dome on every ship and letting them
the
drown in her tenderly flames.
Yeah.
So, my first thought was, what if this had been the last episode and that was just the end of it?
this is
we
how
just
they
see the zap out in like electricity, like electric flames.
A bright shot, like bright white light covers the screen and then the credits.
I would just hear her laughter and I'd be like, yes, for the final big baddie being a woman and just ending them.
Imagine that, and then it's followed by the Jabberjaw like outro music, the end credit music, but it's like a sadder version of it.
With just like some flames at the bottom of the screen.
They're like, yeah, we ran out of ideas. We figured we'd just kill them off. The multiverse thing only worked for so long.
This is a universe where they just didn't last very long. And also, we spent like 20 minutes on these flame tendrils. It was a really intense final battle scene.
So they need to be the star of this episode.
Yeah. But instead of the show just ending right there cleanly, which I would have thought would have been a clean ending.
That would have been clean. Yeah.
It's a quick death.
Get it over with.
Instead, in another, oh, now we're here and this is happening.
Oh, no. Oh my God.
Cut to.
I need to get a tissue. I'm crying too much.
The ship reappearing in like ancient Mayan ruins, like ruins, like the jungles of South America.
Like they found the center of the earth.
Yeah, just like they are simply now in like World Heritage Site.
UNESCO.
In Peru. Yeah.
Machu Picchu.
Yeah, exactly. Not sure, exactly which ancient culture this is, but definitely a South American one that Madame Sargosa was like, this is so far away from the Bermuda Triangle, but like real estate's expensive. You have a question? Is that what you just said?
Yeah, well, I was gonna say that's my other question is like the Bermuda Triangle is like North America. How did they get? That's fine, but you just answered it.
It's like there's not a lot of real estate on Bermuda. Florida, which is like another point of the triangle. No one wants to be in Florida. She was like, absolutely
I'm not even gonna try.
As a woman, I have no rights there. No, thank you.
No, thank you.
And I don't remember the other point, but I think it's another island in the Atlantic.
The Caribbean or something like that.
Yeah, she was like, I need so much space to transport these ships to, et cetera, et cetera. So yes, we see the ship reappear atop of some of these ruins that are all the ruins have guards who are patrolling on like kind of the perimeter and throughout these buildings. They're clad in like red and gold, but they also have like high-tech cannons on every wall. So she's not fucking around here.
No.
And yes, we see the ship like zap onto one of these buildings. The Neptunes are still on it. And as they are like, being like, we were just in the ocean. I mean, I guess they're still in the ocean, obviously.
Now we're
or not. We don't fucking know, actually.
I was going to ask that too, but I was like, fuck it. I'm done asking questions. This is insane. My head hurts.
I don't know, actually.
Yeah.
I don't know if we ever see them in the water again this episode.
Okay.
You know what?
I think the writers are really giving up.
I think they actually are in Peru now.
Everything underwater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're in Peru now, fully on land. That's why she was able to like take over this whole fortress because everyone else has gone underwater. And she's like, now this jungle is mine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because we don't like see a dome over it.
Yeah.
Anyways, multiverse.
Yes. In this universe, they actually all live on land again.
Right. So it's just our universe.
Yeah. Jabberjaw is just a talking, air breathing shark.
It cuts to him and he just dies because he's a normal shark.
He's dead. Shelly's like yelling at him, like, move it, Jabber.
You
she
dummy.
looks over, he's just dead.
Like kicking him. Again, it would have been a clean ending if they cut him off before they got to Peru, but I guess not. So again, the theme of this episode is, oh, this is what's happening now.
Fully tears. Great.
So
okay.
As they're like, yeah, reorienting themselves with this land universe they've now entered, this land dimension, we hear a voice reverberate across these walls and towers. We know these villains love a PA system.
They gotta make their mid-morning announcements.
That is universal.
And that's in they love PA systems in every universe.
It's efficient. Yeah. It's friendly. It saves time.
It saves time. It has dramatic flair.
Exactly. And so this one especially does, as the PA announces that to this whole ship, and again, throughout all the towers. And some of the towers we see that it's more morning announcement style of her face appearing on screens with flames and all, that you are all now the prisoners of Madame Sargasso, whatever it is. Understandably, the gang freaks out about this. They basically make a run for it. The guards go after them. Small chase scene ensues. Obviously, they don't know where they're going. Jabberjaw is like, what is this gravity situation?
How do I use my feet? Wait, I don't have feet.
I can't function under the pressure of not being under the ocean. I'm gonna smush and die. But they start booking it into the jungle surrounding these ruins. But ever watching, because there is an air of 1984 in this universe as well, that Sargasso sees all. And we see a screen in her lair that was watching the Neptunes make their escape. And she's laughing, saying, like, look at these troublemakers. And like, I'll just take care of them myself. And like, it's pretty easy. She basically just like, with her like Tesla coil, zaps them from the jungle.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, like straight into her lair. And as they appeared, they just like, all like drop in out of nowhere in a big pile. And they see her face on a screen a la Shrek. I see that you have a question about this technology.
No questions. I've given up on questions, just thoughts in general, trying to tie it all together. I'm like, man, imagine if she had worked with the aliens in that one episode. Jeff, remember Jeff, our friend Jeff?
Our BFF.
Yeah, she's really good at what do you call it? Not transporting. Teleporting, thank you. Like, man,
they were in two different universes.
Her technology. Yeah, that's true. Imagine she could have used her skills for something really great. I mean, this is great. What she's doing is awesome. But
yeah, I mean, maybe one day she'll sell off her technology for billions and then just retire in the jungles.
Yeah.
Yeah. She hasn't IPO'd yet, she hasn't gone public.
Taking it one day at a time. Exactly.
Yeah. She's really
building up her brand first.
Angel investors are still flowing in. Exactly. It's in the growth stage. Yeah. You have to prove yourself even more.
She's got to scale it. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's the tendril Kraken is still just in testing. It's beta testing right now,
I forgot that she had tendrils and that she's a fire Kraken.
The Flame Kraken. Yeah.
Oh man, that would be a good company name. Flame Kraken.
We take it. It's ours.
That's ours. You heard it here first.
Yeah. You didn't hear it here at all. Erase it from your memories.
Yeah. Nothing happened. Erase all pictures. Sorry.
So yes, they appear in her office and they're like, where the fuck are we now? And her voice booms across this little layer. And they see her face appear on that like a mirror screen from the beginning, flames into all, saying, "Silence, prisoners. I am Madame Sargasso, the sorceress." And we learn essentially like, oh, so she's magic. Like that's how she's like zap teleporting people and like ships around. She's a sorceress.
Yeah.
Cool. And the Neptunes whip around to see where the voice came from, and they see her face on that screen / mirror. And like they're like, oh, so it's a screen, so you're not here. Bye. And they start just running out of the office.
What a power move. Honestly, they're like, oh yeah, you can't fucking touch us. You're not in the room.
Yeah,
oh, that's awesome.
Oh,
let's get out of here. Yeah. Like we don't see handcuffs on these. Yeah.
Yeah, and even if we did, we could just hop out of here. Again, you're not here. You're a face on a screen. So like,
she's girl, like, I didn't think about that.
She's like, stop interrupting me. Women always get interrupted.
Like they're leaving and she's still trying to say, wait, don't leave yet. I'm still telling. Oh, damn it.
God.
No one's taking me seriously.
Not again. So they run. And a chase scene, of course, ensues, mainly of them just like running through kind of her like headquarters building, and like chasing, quote unquote, in the sense that like she is like zapping obstacles in their way. At one point, zapping some handcuffs right on Clamhead before zapping them all back into the layer that she was in. So she was like, this wasn't really a challenge. Like, you guys are just exhausting yourselves. I'm literally a god, basically. She's
literally playing with them. She's like playing with toys right now.
I'm playing with my food at this moment in time. Yes. And at this point, Shelley has had it and snaps at the face on the screen and says, "Fine, what's the pitch, witch?" Which originally I typed, "What's the bitch, witch?" I misheard it slightly and I was like, what? Oh, whoops. Okay. But like also would have been something that Shelley absolutely would say.
Would have said,
bitch witch.
She would have said bitch witch, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Because she can 100% relate.
Yeah, exactly. She's like, I'm the only one.
Yeah.
But the Madame Sargasso snaps back at Shelley and shouts, "Insolent child, I am no witch. She is a sorceress. It is different. Get it right, Shelley.
Yeah.
Use my proper title that I have earned." So
I think every witch has these fire tendrils. Please, that's sorcery and black magic that gets you that.
God, Shelley. Get it?
She's an alien. She doesn't underend. She's still learning.
Know. Yeah, she's like,
I have to learn all this shit too.
God, she's like, what dimension are we in now? Shelley's really like, look, I'm focused on under the water takeover. You can have this land. I don't want my people can't breathe air. Okay.
Yeah, no, we need water. Sorry.
Yeah, we're sea people. That's all I want. We can divide. It's fine.
Yeah. What do you want? You want this little? You want Machu Picchu? Take it.
Great, cute. Okay, let's go. All the land. Great. Above the sea, it's yours, girly.
Sure. Yeah.
So Madame Sargasso goes on to explain that, yes, she is a sorceress. And specifically, she has electro-magical powers. But to contain these powers, her like power basically must be continually fed to stay like alive and powerful. And we see one of her guards walk in and go to the like Tesla coil, which we put together is like the source of her powers. She draws her powers from this. And he feeds this power source by dumping a huge bag of diamonds into the Tesla coil, which we see start sparking even more violently with like electricity and lightning. So essentially, diamonds feed Tesla coil, provided energy, Tesla coil lights up, the sorceress takes that electric power, does magic.
Yeah, okay.
Is the pipeline here that's happening.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay.
And at this point,
okay, never mind. Go ahead.
there's more to the pipeline. We'll get into it in a moment.
I was like,
here.
That's so streamlined.
Oh, I mean, yeah, we'll talk about it in a second because Sargasso is over their shit, basically, of the Neptunes.
Okay.
So she decides that to send them off to the place the rest of her prisoners go. To the first step in this pipeline. Because you might be asking, where's she getting these diamonds?
Yeah.
Where's that? What's that part of the pipeline? Like we seem to have skipped step like A and B here. We started at step C of feeding the power source. What are the first steps here? And so we learn immediately as they zap down to the next place that she uses all the prisoners from these ships.
Oh, no.
And she brainwashes them into zombies and she literally says, become my slaves in my diamond mines.
Damn it.
So now this is part of the episode. Slavery. In diamond mines. It's now blood diamond.
This movie just took a hard turn.
Yeah, we're no longer in South America. We're in South Africa.
Somewhere in Africa. Oh my God. So the whole trajectory of that was an adventure in and of itself. I was like, oh no, she uses prison slave labor. Oh good, no, she's brainwashing them, so they're technically not slaves. Oh no, she's brainwashing them into thinking they're slaves. And then
she's brainwashing them so they don't fight back as slaves, is what's happening. She wants peaceful slaves, and so she brainwashes them. Not like a brainwash, we want to do it.
A brainwash like don't make
like a lobotomy.
Yeah, like, exactly. Yeah.
You are just bodies now doing what I say and listening to me. So and that's also why I think they're on land, because they're now in diamond mines.
Yeah, so also that.
Yeah.
I don't know if those exist underwater. Actually, they might be underwater, but it doesn't matter. Whatever. Different
different
universe.
Don't think about it.
Don't think about it. Yeah.
Yeah. And yes, before they can protest, indeed, they zap down into the diamond mines, which again, maybe now they're in a country in Africa. Like she can zap, she's zapping all over the world. We've established she can do anything she wants.
This woman.
She does it all.
They would make the woman villain want diamonds. Man, these goddamn writers.
I know.
Anyway.
We can only get so far away from the sexism.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
Like, well, yeah. How do we make her want like pretty shiny things?
Yeah, what powers women? Shiny objects.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah,
Don't love it, but it is what it is. Yeah.
But you know what? I still love her.
Yeah, well, she's still
not
awesome.
So much with the slave labor. She lost me here.
Okay, that part. You know, she's just trying to maximize her profit.
She's a capitalist.
She's a capitalist, you know. And I don't love that, but like, hey.
But you know what?
How else are you gonna make it to the top in a world full of capitalists? You gotta
you know
play
what?
Their game.
She owns her own supply chain, which is impressive.
That is impressive.
She's not outsourcing shit for this. Like, pretty impressive. Usually you got to find other folks that are going to take advantage, et cetera, she said.
And you know how she can afford her own supply chain? By using slave labor.
Just like real diamonds.
Yes, exactly. Good for her.
Did she used to work for Tiffany?
She knows, yeah.
Wait a second. Okay.
She got a good look at their behind the scenes operations.
Yeah, she knows where these diamonds are coming from.
Yeah.
So yes, they are teleported down into the diamond mines. But first, the entrance of these mines, we basically see this like giant conveyor belt that leads into the mines. And we quickly see that this conveyor belt, like it kind of goes into like a big tube, is like the brainwashing center. That yes, they get brainwashed so that they listen to whatever Madame Sargasso commands, and thus does all of her bidding as their slaves. They can't escape it. They get put onto that conveyor belt. They start going through this little conveyor belt tube thing. I guess it's like electroshock therapy / lobotomy, because essentially these like I don't know, like almost like boxes like drop down over their heads. And like we see it like zapping with electricity. So again, like brainwashing them.
Yeah.
But in this moment, and yet another twist of this episode, finally, freaking finally, being a 15-foot great white shark comes in handy. Because none of these tiny human-sized head boxes fit on this fucking great white shark.
Yeah.
So, at the end of the chamber, Jabberjaw has not been brainwashed.
He's like, not again. I've been brainwashed once before. I'll never do that again.
Right. Yeah. He has like something else implanted in him that it can't be overwritten by other brainwashing. His like first code is stronger than this code, essentially.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just can't be overwritten, essentially. So, yes, while the rest of the Neptunes come out, also, I guess there's a fashion change. They come out in matching, basically gray, like prison labor outfits.
Oh, great. So not a cute fit. Okay.
It's
pretty
letting
repressive fit.
Yeah. Not even like a prison jumpsuit. It's like would be made of burlap vibes. Like the end of the sleeves are torn. It's like a
potato sacks.
It's like a prison outfit of like 1812 type of thing. So like working in the mines, I guess. It feels correct.
Great. Cool.
And yes, the rest of the Neptunes have dead eye stares, and they are chanting Biff, Shelly, Clamhead, and we see the rest of the prisoners in the same outfits and kind of like dead-eyed stares, chanting, I obey only Madame Sargasso. I obey only Madame Sargasso, over and over and over again. And this whole group of prisoner zombies slowly walk off deeper into the mines. And Jabberjaw, thinking quickly, also acts like he's a zombie. So not drawing attention to himself, more than being a great white shark. But, acting like he's brainwashed. So like, great. Now we just have someone super strong in our minds.
Yeah.
And he does that until he kind of goes off with the gang. They're kind of in their own corner of these diamond mines. And the rest of the gang has gotten to work doing the mining, which the way it's done is all of the walls of these mines are actually very beautifully like drawn / painted. It like looks like a galaxy of like blue, grays, and like black with like glinting dots everywhere, as if the diamonds are simply there already processed, ready to go.
Just pluck and sell.
Well, in each work area, there's simply another conveyor belt, and all the Neptunes have to do is stick a shovel into the wall and dump what they find onto the conveyor belt and diamonds. But Alexis.
Oh no, you didn't even give me time to finish processing that. Now what?
Even as these brainwashed zombies who have no free will at this point, they are simply brainwashed prisoner zombies. One of them is so dumb.
She doesn't have a brain to wash.
They can't even be brainwashed right. Because, yes, Bubbles, we see for every pile of diamonds that her companions put on the conveyor belt, she scoops them off the conveyor belt and flings them back at the wall.
Sargasso's like, Jesus Christ, even in brainwashing, she's so useless.
She's like, we're building a prison just to keep her in, to keep her out of our way. You know what? Make an accident in the mine.
Solitary confinement.
Yeah.
Bubbles, we need you to go way back in that deep, dark corner and just stay there for like 30 minutes. Someone will come get you. Everyone get out. We're blowing the shit up.
Honestly, again, like so ignorant that you become evil. Sargosa's like, she beat my brainwashing.
I
I
need
had to
her
finish her.
secret.
Yeah, exactly. Bring
She
her back
is
up
my
here.
number one enemy.
Yeah, exactly. So, anyways, that's like very not relevant to the plot, but I was just like,
No, but
this
it
is
needs
what's
to be
happening.
said.
Yeah, it needed to be.
Meanwhile,
Yeah, meanwhile, in this show that was written and approved and animated, this is like 3 minutes of it, is that scene.
the writers felt
Anyways,
a need to put it in there. So, hey,
they
it
felt a
needed to
strong
be
need.
said. Yeah.
Yep.
Great.
So Jabberjaw, now that they're all alone back here, tries to shake everyone out of kind of like their brainwashing stupor, but all they do is chant back at him about they will only obey the sorceress.
Mm-hmm.
And seeing no other option at this point, he's like, the longer we stay down in here, the closer we are to trouble. He just scoops all four of them up and starts to run through the mine to find a way out. And at one point, he does stop to ask other human, like slave prisoner zombies that were like working in another part of the mine. And the people he asks do stop, and they do the chant that they're all doing of I obey only Madame Sargasso. But for some reason, again, the writers and animators in this episode have said they made a choice. In this choice, I was like, which one of the animators, like, who hurt you?
Oh,
Because
no. Okay. Oh, boy.
it like zooms, like, it's like four prisoner slaves. It like does a close zoom in on them. And it suddenly becomes like what I can only describe as like gritty 90s like anime horror, because like these prisoners, like, like the I don't know how else to describe it, of like their eyes are huge and have like 1,000 like black lines all around them,
It's
and
like
like
very like very well drawn, like a
yeah,
lot of
and
description in there.
yes, and just like very like harsh line cut, and like both lifeless and like these people have been through horrors untold type of thing. And just, yeah, like gritty 90s anime,
like actually scary.
yes,
Like,
like
oh,
horror movie moment type
what
of
is Madame
thing.
Sargasso doing to them?
Yeah, and it's like their hair is matted, like their clothes are extra torn up, and they're just like doing the chant perfectly in unison. And Jabberjaw's like, nope, and just leaves.
Not my scene.
Yeah, he was like,
No thanks.
not stepping into that multiverse. No, thank you.
No, 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 no.
I'm staying in this one. Goodbye. Yeah, it's very scary. It's like 4 seconds, and I was like,
Need a jump
skip
scare
jump forward,
warning.
skip jump forward.
But also it sounds like it's so out of like the animation that the way you described it sounds so out of place for the rest
Yes.
of the animation in this show.
Which
Like
is like
very,
bright and colorful, and it was all like
yeah,
grayscale, like
bags under their eyes. I can't wait to watch this.
yeah, it was horrible. Like it like truly, like, their eyes, I think, were like 2 scratches away from being like in a horror movie. If you like, if someone like was being followed by or like being stalked, and they would have like picked up a picture of themselves with like their eyes scratched out by like the stalker. It's like that level of like scratchy, horrifying look to their eyes.
Oh my
And then
god.
just like cuts back to Jabberjaw with his four friends under his fins being like, nope, bye,
So
and
I'm
like
out of
swimming
here.
away. Yeah. Again,
So I'm
bright
not going to be sticking
colors.
around. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like big bright eyes, like puffy
Super
cheeks.
colorful. The like
Yeah.
early
Very cartoony.
70s,
Yeah.
like poppy, or I don't know if it was more of one of the funk songs here. Either way, you're not in that terrifying moment of like silence chanting like horror movie. So enjoy that when you get there, everyone.
Got you. Thank you.
Or if you guys are
I
watching
will
the
look
YouTube,
out for
you've
that
already
jump
seen
scare.
it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I can like
So,
pop up on the screen.
yeah, I should have trigger warning moments before that.
Yeah.
So eventually, Jabberjaw ends up at like the conveyor belt chamber that brainwashed his friends. And incredibly and conveniently, like every supervillain weapon, uh, they see a sign that explains how to reverse what's been done. And it just says reverse zombie with a lever. And so yeah,
Oh,
Jabberjaw
nice.
just chucks his friends on it and pulls the lever, and they go the other direction through. They get their normal clothes back, and on the other end, like, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. They are no longer zombies.
Nothing ever happened.
Yep, no
Yeah.
longer brainwashed.
There's always
Bubbles
a
is
reverse
probably like,
button.
I feel the same.
Yeah, she's like, nothing happened. Why were we just throwing diamonds around?
Yeah, those guys were scary, weren't they,
She has like
Jabberjaw?
every recollection of it. Yeah, exactly. Like, man, that was crazy. Thanks for doing that, Jabber. That was great. And
Yeah,
I
so
had no
anyways,
clue.
what are
Yeah.
you guys up to?
Yeah.
But yes, like I mentioned before, Madame Sargasso is essentially Big Brother. So she just saw all of this and just zaps them to her Tesla coil room again.
Oh, great. Okay.
She's like, all right, well, you guys got out of that, so get on
Yeah.
back in here.
Kids are tough.
Yeah, well, so that's exactly what she thinks, actually. She's like, all right,
Mm.
clearly you guys are runners. First of all, you're going to try and get out of this. Second of all,
We need to keep a tighter leash on you. Okay.
literally, when she zaps them in there, at first they're in a cage. She's like, all right,
Ah,
gotta
how
contain
no
y'all
leash.
somehow. Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's like, okay, this kid's got a lot of moxie. Might be a little smarter than I thought. Looking, glaring at Bubbles, who beat her brainwashing somehow. More powerful than I thought, perhaps.
No, it's
So
not.
she offers them a deal. If you all go on a quest for me and are successful, I will let you end all my zombies free. And the Neptunes are like, okay, cool. No questions. We
Yeah,
agree.
let's do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Quest. We like a
No.
good quest.
What's your question? What's your
Oh,
concern?
sorry. I don't, it's, yeah, more concerns. I guess it just made me realize that this episode is about to take another turn because they're going to go somewhere else.
They
Like a
sure
quest that means
are.
that they're leaving their current location.
This would be
Great.
if I had set this up like your last episode, this would be like part 16. Went from ship to Machu Picchu to diamond mines. Now we're going on a quest.
Two. Drum roll.
Well, you'll hear in a moment after we find out what the quest is.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, that would be
Yeah, we
helpful
won't fully
too.
cut there yet.
What
She
are
does
they even doing? Okay,
explain it, kinda.
got
Well,
it.
she explains it.
Okay.
So she says, you all must go bring me the power stone of Kava. And she explains that a
Oh.
power stone is basically a self-energizing power source that can basically, it lasts forever. And so it could forever power her Tesla coil machine. And thus, she will no longer need the diamonds to begin with.
Wow, she's been reading Marvel comics.
Both Marvel comics. And again, maybe she isn't a capitalist. Maybe she's like,
Maybe.
I don't like having these brainwashed zombie slaves.
Yeah, like trust me,
this blood diamond line.
This isn't the end goal. Yeah.
Yeah, like I would like to, I mean, maybe that'll be a diversifying part of my portfolio. I'll keep the diamond mines, they're already set up. But like I won't need it for my power anymore.
Yeah, yeah. Then I'll just get into the jewelry business.
Right. Again, diversify my portfolio. It's only smart.
Exactly.
But like the catch is that the power stone is in a different location, like you said. And it's like,
Papa.
you know, in the center of the earth.
No big deal. They can get there. They've got Jabberjaw. He's a jackhammer when he wants to be.
Exactly. Well, she's like, here's the thing. Transportation, no problem. I'm literally a sorceress who can zap people everywhere. But
this is true.
The problem is that there's a monster in the middle of it who protects the power stone, and my magic is not powerful enough to control the monster. So I can't go myself, but you can. So thank you, goodbye. Yeah. Well, in that moment, the regret in the room is very palpable, but she just zaps them
We
right into the
should've
center of the earth.
we should have asked before we said
A
yes.
single question. Like they could have
Also,
asked one question.
kava is I forget if it's a fruit, it's a type of alcohol, right? Or is it a fruit that creates a type of
I
alcohol
think
that's
it's a
like
fruit or a
Mediterranean?
plant.
A plant, okay.
I
That
think.
is Mediterranean.
I'm gonna look.
Um, so why the fuck are
Yes,
they
it's
in
a
the center of
plant.
the earth?
You know, I don't
Because you
know.
said it's the power source of kava, right? That's what
Yeah,
it's called.
here's the thing is that
This show makes
uh
no sense. Here's the thing, this show doesn't
kava
make
is a plant that is from the Pacific Islands actually.
Oh, interesting.
But
Okay.
that doesn't explain why it's still in the center
They're
of
in the
the earth.
center
But
of
it's a
the earth.
stone, not a plant in this
Oh, the
scenario.
stone. Oh.
Yeah, it's just called kava because one of the writers was having a kava drink,
Yeah.
probably having some like an herbal remedy, or was a Pacific Islander and was like, I know this. And they were like, write it down.
It sounds exotic. Woo,
Right. For some reason,
cool.
we need to name the power stone instead of just having
Yeah,
it be
just
a
calling
power
it the
stone.
Power Stone. Why?
Yeah.
They're trying. They're trying.
Yes.
Not well, but they are
They're
trying.
doing something.
Yeah.
They're not doing
Confusing
nothing.
us.
Yeah,
Yeah. They're
exactly.
giving us
Successfully.
everything and nothing all at the
All
same
at once.
time.
Exactly. So, yes, before they ask a single question, they're full of regret. She zaps them down into the center of the earth.
Hmm.
But as they blip out of the room, she continues her monologue. So they don't actually hear the end of it because at this point, yeah, they're like, oh, okay, she was just zapping people out of the ocean to get these zombie slaves to mine the diamonds because she needed the diamonds for her power source. But she just wants this single stone, and then she's gonna let everyone go. She already said it. She doesn't need to mine the diamonds anymore. She's again trying to, wipe her. She's trying to turn over a new stone here. Like
Exactly. New stone.
we're
Not a new
on
kava leaf,
board.
a new
A
stone.
new stone, a new kava stone.
Yeah.
We support her. Like we're on board
Mhm.
for this mission
We are
because
women
it will.
supporting women.
Yes,
Yesterday
exactly.
was
We'll.
International Women's Day. Let's How
Exactly. Like
appropriate.
we got this.
Yeah.
But the part they don't hear is that she goes on to say, and if they succeed, I will finally have enough power to take over the world. And if they fail, I'll
Hmm.
simply have gotten rid of these troublemakers. So she's like,
Yeah, win-win.
yeah, she's like, great. Either become like the overlord or they die and I
Hmm.
continue having all of my diamond miners and I find someone
Exactly.
else to try and
Like,
get it for me.
and so far they're her biggest threat. So, I mean, hey,
Exactly.
I guess other than
Although,
this monster guarding the thing, but yeah.
yeah, although now I'm like, what if we flash down to the center of the earth where they are and there were just like dead bodies of other people she made this deal with? Other troublemakers. And she was just like, yeah, go on this quest for me. And
It's super easy. Like, you'll be able to figure it out. And then,
then
yeah,
you'll
I'll
all
let
be
you
free.
free.
Yeah.
Thousands of bodies later. It's like a mountain of skeletons leading up to the stone of Kava.
Exactly. She's like, death is freedom, right? I did a deal either way. You went on a quest and you got freedom,
Right.
baby.
Oh man, she's
What about
smart.
it?
Yeah. I've
So
eternally set you free.
again, this is again Big Brother. One of the 1984 like phrases is like freedom is slavery. She's like, death is slavery. War is peace.
What?
Freedom is
Yeah, it's
slavery, whatever the
slavery.
last one is.
Yeah.
So
We'll think of it next
anyway,
week.
probably not.
Mm.
So in the center of the earth, the gang is carefully walking across a rock bridge over a boiling sea of magma below. And again, that boiling sea of magma, probably where all the dead bodies are. Just that's why there's no skeletons piled up. They've just all been tossed into the magma and burnt and melted away.
Nice. So there's actually 5 times as many as we think there are down there. Exactly. Most of them have melted and burned.
Yeah, they're just only making the lava stronger.
Yeah. The flames intensify with every skeleton that falls in.
Yeah, we like hear the screams of the souls and et cetera, et cetera. Well, it just sounds like the bubbling of magma. And like, it's like pretty easy to find the Power Stone. It's like they just walk across the bridge and it's like around a corner. And Clamhead just looks up and he's like, oh, it's probably that glowing stone on like the top of the spire, a rock spire right here. Like, that's probably it. Yeah. So Jabberjaw is like, cool, y'all work on climbing up there. I will keep my eye out for the monster, which is not very hard because literally they just turn around and this monster is literally right there. And it's this like giant sea dragon creature that's a cyclops. Like, that's all I got for you. Yeah. So it's just like a cyclops monster, essentially. Though. Yeah. So, and it's like huge. It's like 5 stories tall or something. Yeah. So, of course, it starts chasing them. Biff and Bubbles kind of split off from the group, so it will chase those two, which it does. And Jabberjaw, Clamhead, and Shelly are like, cool, they can be the bait. We'll go get this stone. But it's at the top of a huge spire. How are they going to get there? You know, as usual, Jabberjaw transformed himself. Not into like a ladder or a plane, but into a trampoline. So Shelly and Clamhead.
Okay.
Can just
man, you are keeping me on my toes over here.
Again, now this is happening. Period. This episode. Now this is what's occurring.
Brand new sentence.
Yeah. This whole episode has been simply one brand new sentence after another. And so, yeah, they just start jumping on Jabberjaw the trampoline until they finally reach the height 5 stories up in the air that they're able to just like boop onto the top of this spire and grab the stone. But of course, they're obviously fucking loud because they're jumping on a shark trampoline.
5 stories in the air.
Yeah. So the monster immediately runs back to them. But luckily, just in the nick of time, Shelly and Clamhead are able to like clamber off this spire and run away with Jabberjaw, rejoining with Biff and Bubbles. But the monster is still chasing them. And they get to the stone bridge, but it has collapsed at this point.
Oh, yikes. That's bad.
And a few things happen here, both in my head and in the show.
Okay.
1, in the show and in a complete moment of shock for me, because it's a moment of a through line of this show. Jabberjaw steps up to the edge of the broken bridge and says, oh, I'll just try something I saw in the Olympics. And if, dear listeners, you recall,
in Australia, perhaps?
In Australia, we joined Jabberjaw competing in the 2017
He's an Olympic champion.
Olympics.
It's just like casual fun fact about Jabberjaw.
Yes. And he took some notes clearly in his multi-events that he won gold in. Mm-hmm. But he just throws himself across the gap and becomes a bridge, which I was like, sir, you did that in an earlier episode. But I guess that's maybe another through line too. He maybe went to the Olympics before the bridge episode.
Maybe, yeah. That he was
who knows?
Multi-champion.
Yeah, so
also, like, what Olympic event did you see that in? These underwater Olympics are wild. They don't even do sports anymore. They do obstacle courses. Anything's possible.
He names some like crazy move that sounds like it would have been like in like the half pipe for like snowboarding, but then the move is just him being a bridge.
Stretching his body out to be a bridge.
Exactly. Or it's maybe some like ice skating move, like a quadruple
like
axle.
a hack, jackknife axle, something.
And then he's
double
just like,
twist.
across the bridge.
Wow.
So then the next thing that happens is, yes, he throws himself across the gap and becomes a bridge. The rest of the Neptunes sprint across. But right as they get across, and Jabberjaw is about to, like, fling himself across too, the monster runs up and grabs Jabberjaw's back fins and starts ripping him, back to where the monster is. And in this moment, what's happening in my head is, oh, one of these writers and animators recently read Lord of the Rings. This is simply the Mines of Moria with the Balrog as the monster taking Gandalf, aka Jabberjaw, across the broken bridge into the depths.
It's like a word for word reenactment.
Yeah, Jabberjaw's like, you shall not pass.
Yeah.
And like there's magma below, aka the fiery pits that are beneath Moria. So that's what's happening in my head is, oh, this is happening now. It's now Lord of the Rings.
Oh, wow.
The Neptunes are the rest of the fellowship, et cetera, et cetera. So
Grace just immediately gets very interested in this episode. She's like, oh, wait, okay, now this all makes sense.
I now started paying attention to this episode.
Yeah.
I now was like, oh, now we're in multiverse Middle Earth. Got it.
Got it. Cool. That's what this multiverse is.
Yeah. Now I'm interested.
Now this is great. These writers actually are very, very talented.
Now I love these writers.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's a fleeting moment of joy for me.
And over.
Yes, because instead of both of them tumbling down into the pits and the chaos and different essentially plane of fighting that happens between Gandalf and the Balrog, instead Jabberjaw just pulls like another Olympic move and just like springs off of the monster's belly and like flings himself across the gap. And I guess the monster is like scared of the magma or jumping, so they all run away. And they get away.
They get away free. That's how you beat the monster. The floor is lava.
Yeah, exactly. The monster was like, that was scary.
No, good. You guys win. Fine.
Yeah, fine. Take the stone. I don't want it anyways.
I don't want it. It's gross.
Yeah, whatever. Nasty. Yeah. So, of course, Madame Sargasso was watching this whole thing and sees their success. And so she zaps them safely back to her lair. And now, finally, we see the real Madame Sargasso.
I was wondering if we'd ever meet her. Okay.
Because, like the goddamn Wizard of Oz, she just steps out from behind the screen. She was there the whole time.
The whole time?
She wasn't even projecting herself.
Time.
So when they ran out that one time, she could have chased them.
She could have, yeah. And she was like, I'm lazy.
She's like, oh, I'm zapping back in here. It's easier than chasing them.
She's like, I don't need to exactly.
I didn't tire myself out yet.
It sounds like busy work. Exactly. I don't want to get winded. Do you know how sweaty I get?
Oh yeah, we're in the jungles of Peru.
Anything.
Yeah, it's hot here. So we see, yes, her step out from behind the mirror screen thing. And she is a very tall, thin woman in a long, like skin tight purple dress that has this like high red collar around her. She's got sharply angled, again, those cheekbones. You could cut glass with them. And literally, I'm like, oh, no, this is literally just Angelina Jolie's diamonds outfit as, you clocked it earlier, Maleficent in the live
that's
action.
Where they got the inspo. Yeah, that's where the live action got the inspo.
Yeah, they were like, this is simply her 40 years before we remade this show or we made this movie. So simply picture Angelina Jolie as Maleficent, and this is Madame Sargasso.
And that is her. Gotcha.
Yeah. So she demands the Neptunes give her the stone, and Biff is like, all right, here, and just hands it on over to her.
Take it. I didn't want it anyway.
He's like, yeah, here. And of course, she like immediately starts laughing and says like, great, now that I have this stone, I can now make everybody in the world my slave. And the Neptunes are like, you lied?
Yeah. Ma'am, excuse me.
Hi, ma'am, woman who enslaves people. You lie. You're a liar?
You lied to us? Supervillain lady? How could you?
Wait, excuse me. We had a verbal agreement here.
Yeah, you told us though that you wouldn't do the bad thing if we did the other bad thing for you, ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am, blood diamond lover, you did a bad thing. We thought we could trust you. Which yeah, she is literally just like, yeah, I lied. Obviously. Like you
She's like, I
fucking
didn't think you guys
idiots.
would actually believe it. Yeah.
Yeah, she's like, I demanded the stone because I thought I'd have to like put up a fight, but you just like handed it to me. You guys are so dumb.
Man, you guys are super stupid.
Yeah, like wow, this was so easy actually. Thank you.
Thanks.
But in a moment of being a little too power hungry, she throws her head back in laughter, at which point Jabberjaw just yoinks the stone right out of her hand, and they all run from the office. They've ran from it before. They know the way out. They know the door.
Yeah.
They know the exit door. So yes, they zip zap out of there, making their way out of the ruins. Somehow they end up back in the mines. They perhaps enter another teleportation device. We don't know. We do see at one point, like down in the mines, that there is this like tube-like structure that like at first I thought was like an elevator out of the mines, but like it didn't keep going up. So that could be the teleportation device. That's what we're going to go with.
Okay.
But they get down there or find their way down there like, fuck, we're just deeper underground now. We're like more caught in her web. But they immediately start acting like the zombies to try and trick the guards so they don't immediately get recaptured. And they're like, well, okay, I guess step one is like, we should probably free all these zombie slaves. Like, that seems like a good thing to do.
Yes, the moral and ethical thing to do.
Like, are one of them deep down thinking, like, could we create a slave rebellion uprising? And like, that is how we take over? It's been successful before.
Probably. Yes.
We could do it.
Sounds like something Jabberjaw would pitch to the team.
Exactly. Like uprising. They're like, what? He's like, what?
What?
What? So free them. Yes. Yes. This is what we should.
We are not going to viciously murder our enslavers.
Yeah, exactly. We're fine. But
what?
Who said Clamhead? What are you Bubbles? Shut up, Bubbles.
You're so crazy, Bubbles.
She's like, I didn't say anything. And everyone just believes Jabberjaw.
Yeah,
Bubbles, shut up. She's like, I didn't say anything.
Yeah, sure. Anyway, that was a crazy idea.
But they realize that the zombies, because they're brainwashed, only imitate Madame Sargasso, or only listen to Madame Sargasso.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
And Bubbles is like, yeah, that's all they listen to. And she imitates the chant because obviously she was saying it earlier, like, I only obey Madame Sargasso. And then in the wildest twist of this episode, because you thought it was wild before.
Yeah.
You thought it was surprising before in these 18 parts.
Like I said, you've been this 18-part play.
You stand corrected, because perhaps the most wild moment in the series is that the Neptunes, hearing Bubbles chant this, all look at Bubbles and decide Bubbles will be the one to free these slaves.
No.
By imitating Madame Sargasso. And we cut to, I guess Shelley and Bubbles raided Madame Sargasso's closet somehow. And Bubbles is now dressed up like Madame Sargasso. And they're putting.
Did you say she's like really tall or something?
It's like way too big on her.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Bubbles is so small.
Like drowning in this dress.
Yeah. And now the fate of these thousands of actual human beings who have been enslaved. Their fate lies in Bubbles. Freedom lies in Bubbles. stupid hands.
Stupid little hands. Oh boy.
Yeah.
I don't feel confident for them.
Again.
At all. But
the wildest decision they have ever made.
Literally. Was her impression that good?
No, it sounded like Bubbles. I only obey Madame Sagasso.
I mean, at that point, you're better off having Jabberjaw do it because at least he's tall. Yeah, I mean, this just isn't going to work. Okay. All right. Okay. Good.
So I guess Madame Sargasso had gone off to like try and find the Neptunes because the lair is now empty. So Shelly shoves Bubbles behind like the big screen and turns it on. So now Bubbles is, I was going to say broadcasting through via the PA system / morning announcements through all of these ancient ruins and down in the mines. And we see her face appear, flames and all, on the screen. Fucking looking like Bubbles. Yeah. She just has like a kind of headdress crown thing on that Madame Sargasso had and flames. But like you see some of her blonde hair. Bubbles does not have cheekbones that can break glass ceilings like Madame Sargasso has. No. She has the face of an idiot.
Yeah. And like an afro.
And so Shelly doesn't have confidence. So Shelly, before she shoves her in there, was like, Bubbles, repeat every word I say, okay? I'll feed you the lines. But of course, we've established Bubbles
is an idiot.
So she is literally repeating every single thing Shelly says. So it's like, and giggling the whole time also. So like,
yeah.
Clearly, it's not working.
Repeat after me.
Yeah, so she's literally, she's like, okay, repeat after me. No, okay, yes, repeat after me. Okay, all of you zombies, no, you idiot, you dum-dum, all of you slaves, are free to go home. Because obviously Shelly's calling her an idiot during it.
Yes, exactly.
But whatever, the point gets across. She says, all of you zombie slaves are now free. And, they're brainwashed. They're not smart in this moment. It's enough. This seems like Madame Sargasso. There's an outfit over the PA system.
Someone's speaking.
Over our morning announcements are coming through. And it shakes them into from being brainwashed. We suddenly see the light return to their eyes. Literally everyone starts hugging and cheering and they start stampeding out of these mines.
Oh no.
Freedom now gotten, maybe murdering some guards on their way out.
Probably slave rebellion.
We hope so, honestly.
Yes.
But of course, Sargasso fucking heard the PA system.
Yeah. She's like, there's a speaker right behind me.
Yeah. So she just zaps herself back into her lair and starts chasing Bubbles and Shelly, obviously. At this point, Biff, Jabberjaw, and Clamhead, who are still in the mines, transport back to Peru, I guess. They run out. Shelly and Bubbles are able to run out. They're all now running through the jungles of Peru here. And now they're all being chased. But yeah, this is now where they are. We're now in the jungle. We've left the building. We're literally in the jungle now.
Every time you say they go somewhere else, I just shake my head like I'm so fucking lost.
Yeah. I'm like, what world, what universe,
where are
what country, why? And again, I think at the end the writers were like, look, we've drawn
all
the jungle.
Stuff.
We gotta use it.
Use this.
We drew the mines and we have 4 episodes left.
And I just
when are we going to use myself?
I just keep having to remind myself too that this episode started in the Bermuda Triangle.
We've never gone back.
Oh, we
haven't gone back to the water.
In fact, they never needed to even be in the Bermuda Triangle. I'm realizing now. I'm like, they just needed a story for why ships go missing and stuff there, but they never, I mean, the ship could have gone missing anywhere. She did. Keep going. Sorry. Anyway,
Madame Sargasso is Mrs. Worldwide, you know?
She is, you know.
She's
London, Paris, Tokyo, like where you want to go. She's
Bermuda Triangle,
Bermuda, Machu Picchu, the ancient ruins,
center of the earth.
Seen it all, exactly.
Yeah, you name it, been there, done that, baby.
Yeah, she has all the travel points and rewards.
Exactly. So, of course, everyone is chasing the Neptunes. Madame Sargasso now is using basically a like device on her outfit. She's wearing like this gold belt that is literally she like can click a button on it and it literally shoots fireballs at people.
Oh, wow.
And so she's just setting, I guess, this jungle on fire, willy-nilly shooting fireballs away.
Not a fan of that, but okay.
Nope, we don't love it. Deforestation, hate to see it happen. We do get a very funky, bluesy, guitar-heavy song to this chase scene,
nice.
which I loved. Again, they spent all that budget on the soundtrack, and it was worth every penny.
Yes.
Yep. So during the chase, Jabberjaw kind of gets cornered by her, and they get into a tussle. Jabberjaw is able to rip off like the device on her belt and to shoot her and the guards with it. Like turns it around on Madame Sargasso and the guards. And similar to another episode, eons before SpongeBob did it, this device on the belt makes them mini.
You just turn it upside down to Wumbo.
The Wumbo mode. So yes, it goes Wumbo and
it goes Wumbo. Yeah. You'd love to see it.
Yep. So yeah, they just shoot them all. They become super tiny. They capture them. Like that's the end. That's the end of the episode, except
thank God.
Our final scene is the Neptunes back on the cruise liner they were originally on, playing a gig on the cruise liner.
Okay.
For all of the now 3 zombie slaves.
Slave miners.
Who are now miners getting a show as they, I guess, transport back to their lives,
wherever.
Their families who have been missing them for 30 years, et cetera,
or more,
presumed dead. Some of them get to walk into their own funeral.
Remarried, yes, remarried with kids, grandkids.
Exactly. Some of their loved ones have all died at this point. They've been gone for so long. But at least they get a show by the Neptunes. And I don't know, they probably robbed those mines, I hope. Yeah. On their way out. Those diamonds were they didn't need to be processed.
Yeah.
They were there. So now that's the end.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good job. Great job, honestly, because somehow you made the unthinkable make some kind of sense.
Truly was like, oh my God, great. Bermuda Triangle episode. I get to talk about the Bermuda Triangle for like 10 paragraphs. How fun will this be? And then I watched the episode and I was like, there's no time.
They were hardly
less than 3 minutes there.
Yeah.
Like 2 minutes tops. Does this have to do with the Bermuda Triangle?
Like, who would have thought that an episode called, it's the Bermuda Triangle, what?
Tangle.
A side note on that in a second, but who would have thought that an episode with Bermuda Triangle in it would primarily take place in Machu Picchu?
Yeah, and have blood diamonds.
Yeah, who would have thought? And that's so funny that this was called the Bermuda Triangle Tangle, because there's an episode of Scooby-Doo called A Creepy Tangle in the Bermuda Triangle.
Again, these are the same writers.
Exactly.
And voice
They're
actors
recycling
and producers. Yeah.
Huh?
This absolutely proves your point. Yes.
Yes.
And again, they were like,
all right, everybody, empty your pockets.
Yeah, we've drawn the cell animation of Machu Picchu.
I can't wait to watch this and see if they use the same animation from the Bermuda Triangle too.
Yes. I mean, I was simply shook at this episode of where it went. Again, twists and turns that again, not plot twists and turns, just simply like what is happening. No, like, oh my God, what a genius plot twist, but just like, we're here now.
Yeah.
We're here now. Oh, now
we're here.
Yeah.
Oh, now there's a giant underwater Cyclops monster.
Yes, but not underwater because we never returned to the water.
Right, yeah. Were we ever underwater?
Now are we now in Middle Earth? So yes, this was a true multiverse episode. So I'm glad we talked about that incidentally at the beginning because I think this one proved it.
Ended up being there. The last thing that I will say, at some point when you mentioned that, like, she's zapping them here, zapping them there, they're just going like to the mind, to her lair, etc. I was like, what if this whole business that Sargossa's actually in, this whole time this was actually just a fun house? All of these things are in one building, and she's actually
Meow Wolf.
Yeah,
this was the original Meow Wolf.
Doing like what do you call it, like a laser light show or something to like take your attention off the fact that like, oh, this new door is here. Next thing you know, you're in a mine, or like the background changes. It's literally just it's an escape room. It's like Madame Sargossa's escape room. That's actually which sounds really fun.
An incredible name. Oh my God, yes.
I gotta look keep talking, but yes, so that was in my mind at one point, and I just could not stop laughing.
And it's like a really immersive experience because, like, you outfit change into being a 1912s miner at one point.
Yes,
you gotta work the mines.
Oh my gosh!
Like, it's very.
I'm looking
immersive.
Up because I am almost positive too, because Sargasso, other than it being the name of a sea, I feel like it's the name of a character somewhere, like Sargasso. I was like, wasn't that a character in like Pirates of the Caribbean or something? Because it is like a play on a sea.
You're thinking of like Barbossa,
a play on words. Maybe I am thinking of Barbossa.
But I also wonder if it's because it has the word madam in front of it that it makes it sound like, oh yeah, this is like a sorceress from something else.
Something
it sounds like
I think I'm like
enough.
Mixing and matching. Captain so many Barbossa. Things. But you're probably right. That's probably what it is.
But either way, it happened.
AKA Madame Sargossa's escape room is actually what this has been the whole time.
I would go
find the clues to get out. I totally would.
Yeah, this was just like actually the Neptunes. That's why they said yes without any questions, because they were like, this is just our fun afternoon out after like the day after a gig. We had an extra day in Bermuda. This was one of the fun local things to do. It was a little rainy outside, so we did an indoor activity. Yeah, so that's why they were like, Quest. Great. Okay,
it's a good bonding moment. Yeah, it's like Vision Quest. It's their bonding moment.
So they made it out of the escape room. They did it. They did a great job.
They needed it. There was a lot of tension and fighting going on between the band.
Exactly. They really had to break that tension. This was actually on the cruise.
It was
a Carnival cruise ship.
And they never left.
Yeah, they're still. Shelly still has the lawn chair on her arm. It's a Carnival cruise. You never have to leave the ship, etc. So
Oh my God. Yeah.
So
excellent.
Anyways,
great job. Great job.
Thank you. Between now and next week, which will be our last Jabberjaw episode, who should our listeners and viewers tell?
You should tell your one friend who is just obsessed with escape rooms, because I feel like every group kind of has that one where like they just love doing escape rooms, like maybe once or twice a month. Yeah, it's always our suggestions, and they're the ones in there with like the notepads. They're breaking all the codes. They know from the jump, like, oh, we're not in the Bermuda Triangle. This is actually just an escape room. We're in Machu Picchu, actually. Yeah.
Wow, great.
We're actually in the diamond mines of South Africa. So who should they?
Amazing. I think after you tell that friend, friend drags you to the escape room, you should tell some of the employees working there, like whatever teenager is working there that weekend who's like letting you in and telling you the rules about not breaking shit, about how you get clues, et cetera, tell them, because they got to go back to like the back office where they watch you to make sure you're not like dying, and they got to do something.
Yeah, and like
so
breaking shit, and like actually having a panic attack.
Yeah, so put us on. Enjoy.
All right, until next time. All right.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for tuning in to Saturday Morning Mysteries.
If you enjoyed this episode, please share, rate, review, leave us a like, and drop a comment. We post episodes every Saturday and bonus tune tangents whenever we feel like it. So please subscribe so you don't miss the shenanigans.
And if you want to follow us on YouTube, click the bell under the YouTube subscribe button to receive notifications when new videos are posted.
And if you want to subscribe to the podcast, we have no idea what you're listening to us on, so just hit the big subscribe button on whatever app you're using. We believe in you.
Give us a follow on Twitter and Instagram at SatmornMist, all the abreves, and let us know if you have any episode or show requests by emailing SaturdayMorningMysteries@gmail.com.
Thanks to Jenna Kendall for the logo design and to Ava Sakiki for the music used during this week's episode.
See y'all groovy kids next week on Saturday Morning Mysteries.